Welcome. You are now tuned into Dudes Brewing Podcast.
We can get into it, we can get into it. Body fluids on the floor, get into it like a hood. We can get into it, we can get into it. Body fluids on the floor, get into it like a hood. What's the motion? Swing a right finger with a left, going straight, take the heart out his chest. Nut buck in the club, homegirls lose the heel saying, fuck my new curls and fuck them bum bitches. They talk like they hands on Mike Tyson. It's kill to be killed when I'm fighting. My sisters not watching, they jumping like double dutch. They like transition, cause violence is given. Soft bitches is tripping.
Asked me if he would be at the opening tonight.
Which one's Jane?
Oh, she's cute. She has short hair and she writes for Nylon, and she'll definitely have sex with you.
Really? Yeah, I was actually gonna talk to you about tonight.
Oh, don't, Ben.
Shinji, I'm sorry, but I've officially retired from New York City nightlife, right? You know that.
Can't believe you're still scared of running into Rachel.
I am not. Why did you talk to her? Is she coming or?
Would that be weird if she did?
No. Not for me. She might feel weird about it.
Oh, what up, fool? What's good, man?
Hey, man.
Dang, man. Put a smile on that face, man. It's a party.
I'm smiling. On the inside, I'm smiling, yeah.
All right. Well, I'll let me later, yo.
All right, man.
Finally.
How's it going? You moving units or what?
So far, so good. It's good so far.
I still can't believe people actually pay for this. I gotta get myself a camera.
Yeah, do that.
All right, so is Rachel here?
No, but Jane.
Wait, I'm gonna catch up with your pops.
Leave him alone, Cam.
What are you talking about? Your dad loves me.
Shinji, I'm really not ready.
No, it's fine. Hello, Jane. Hi, Gingy. This is Ben.
Ben, hey.
Hi.
Oh, wow. You okay?
Yes, I'm fine.
I just broke half your face off.
It's okay.
Does anybody need anything to drink? Would you like anything?
Nice.
No, I'm all right. So, yeah.
Okay.
So, I think we've actually met before.
It's Cold Stone Creamery, but for donuts. I call it Build a Nut.
No, Cam.
You pick your own toppings. Caramel frosting for the dudes and strawberry-flavored high-heel sprinkles for the ladies.
You keep coming to me with these crazy ideas, and maybe some of them might be good. But everybody's got ideas. Nobody wants to put in the work. Don't tell me what you're gonna do. Show me what you've done, and then maybe, finally, I'll write you that check.
How many zeros on that check?
Hey, Rachel.
Hey, Ben. How are you? Ben, this is Darren.
Hey, Ben. Nice to meet you.
Darren, hey.
So how you been?
Good.
Good.
Really good. Quit smoking.
Really? That's great. That's good.
Hey, was that you in that photo back there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's me.
You know, I like it.
Yeah.
Maybe I can use it in the bar.
Yeah, Darren is opening this hotel on the Bowery, and
She's got a good eye, this one.
Oh, yeah.
There she is.
Hey. Aw.
I would like to do ecstasy with you. I love you.
Love you too!
And I love you.
Oh, my God.
I barely remember anything after that fourth shot of Patron.
Really? I'm out.
Out where?
Like, quit.
Slow down, please.
I'm cool.
No,
cool.
you're completely losing it.
Maybe.
What does this mean for us?
Ben and I slept together last night. So, there's that.
Welcome to Dudes Brewing.
Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? It's the day of love.
It's your boy. It's Benda. It's
Benda and
Super duper Kels.
What's up? What's up?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Guys, it is Love Day. You know what I'm saying?
Day of love.
Throw up your hearts. Throw up your hearts. Throw it up for a loved one. That's right. That's right. That's right, guys. So we're here to talk to you guys about Valentine's Day.
slut!
What slut?
You be sleeping around my man.
Who your man? I got big and small.
Mark Johnson, fuck ya.
Oh, Mark. Yeah, he been come visit me last night. Why? You been kissing him up. You been tasting my hole. Tastes sweet, eh?
Well, my hole must tastes sweeter because he with me. Anyway, your hole is only good for the side, slut. Your hole need that break in between so your muya can tighten up. Anyway, can't even clean.
Can't even dance.
Well, what's this then, slut?
Well, what's this then, slut?
Oh, what's this then, slut?
What's this then, slut?
Well, what's this then, slut?
Well, what's this then, slut?
Well, what's this then, slut?
What's this then, slut?
This then, slut.
This then, slut.
What's this then, slut?
What's this then, slut? This then,
Ooh,
slut.
what's this then, slut? What's this then, slut?
Cherubs.
Yeah, cherubs.
And
You
the
know,
other one
it's
I
all
forgot.
about the bow and arrow for love. You know, you got to shoot that arrow out there. You got to let it hit that moon, come on down.
Dance by the light of the moon. What'd you wish when you threw that rock?
Oh, no.
Come on,
no.
tell me.
If I told you, it might not come true.
What is it you want, Mary? What do you want? You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down. Hey, that's a pretty good idea. I'll give you the moon, Mary.
I'll take it.
Strike 'em right in the bum. You know what I'm saying? It's all about that love right there. It's another hole there. Anyhow.
Where should I gain entry?
Come on, black African bully, yeah?
Racial stereotypes, huh?
Get over there and get those pants off. Okay. I should hung like a donkey.
Yeah, guys. I'm here to just talk about Valentine's Day. Me and Benda, you know, we wanted to discuss some ideas and some thoughts that we have for you guys. And yeah, we just want to put light on about dating, these biological dating factors that we have to cope with. There's a burden of performance for men, like as if we're dating in a heterosexual relationship or any kind of relationship that you happen to be in.
This man just asked me, was I from Africa? I said I was supposed to be.
But there's a burden of performance for dudes that we have to do well for our babes, or whoever we happen to be seeing, and yeah, and we just wanted to just highlight some challenges with Valentine's Day, and we noticed that there's some things that sometimes there's things that we have to do, that may not be across the board in Western society. So now, bear in mind, full disclosure, Valentine's Day is it's a commercial marketing day. It is.
It makes a lot of money.
It makes a lot of money. It's about consumerism, okay? Less about the love,
What are you doing tonight, Kelvin?
I'm actually here about the Sean Jackson interview, but we could talk.
Relax, I'm not asking you out. I'm just curious. How are you spending this happiest of all days? With a rotting teeth and a chocolate mustache.
Okay, maybe you should try some tofu or something. Okay. It'll balance out your emotions.
I don't want a mustache.
You look hot with a mustache. Or without it, it doesn't matter.
People that's when they sell the most flowers and chocolates.
Yeah,
and,
exactly. Kit Kats.
It's a big day for florists as well. Like without it, they literally look forward to Valentine's Day the same way. I'm guessing Thanksgiving people who sell turkeys look forward to Thanksgiving.
Exactly. They're waiting for you to sell that chocolate.
Well, yeah.
Slang that chocolate.
Keisha?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, buddy, you made it.
Hey, grab a finger sandwich. They're delicious.
Hey, what's up, Cash? About time you came up in here. Ain't no party like a Mandingo party.
Because a Mandingo party don't stop.
You need some water?
You're next, Malcolm.
Where you going? Hey, don't let her down. It's her birthday.
Hold on. Hey, you find Keisha? No, she's not in there. You sure? What's going on in there? Nothing at all. Is that a Mandingo party? No. Man, I want to get my Kunta Kinte on, man. Come on,
It's the flowers, chocolate, teddy bears, everyone's getting money.
Exactly.
So yeah, he's right. Like it is at the end of the day a big consumerism thing. Because if you think about it, do you think there's only one day that you should be showing love? Like that's crazy.
Yeah, Valentine's Day should be every day.
Yeah, technically, if you have someone that you love, I don't think there should be a designated day where you need to be like, oh, this is the day that I'm gonna love you the most.
Vacation.
Who's that?
Family vacations.
Who's that?
It's nobody.
Let me see.
It's nobody.
Who the fuck is Joshua?
Oh my god. It's my friend. He's gay. He's just saying because he knows that I want to
JJ, go over there real quick. JJ.
Alright.
Go. Who the fuck is that? I will fucking put on a whole fucking scene in this motherfucker.
It's my friend.
Who the fuck? But why they keep texting you?
Because
Why they keep texting you?
he's my friend.
She'll text your friend, I want to meet him. Tell him your fiance wants to meet him. Tiffany, I'm not joking. Who the fuck is that? And they keep texting you.
It's just one time.
I actually don't look at it as a transgression at all. Through that particular journey, I learned so much about myself and was able.
It's not a transgression because through that journey, she learned so much. Totally worth it. Totally worth it. Totally worth it, Will. It was so worth it. Will, don't get hung up. Okay, yeah, I fucked him for years. Don't get hung up on that. It was so worth it. Look at all the great things that happened. Childhood trauma, blah, blah, blah. Words that don't mean anything. Emotional deflection. Female tactics. Will has no frame, no game at all.
About myself and was able to really confront a lot of emotional immaturity, emotional insecurity, and I was really able to do some really deep healing.
Really deep. Really deep healing. Why did you tarnish our relationship by putting dick in your mouth? That's what the discussion should be. But she's changed the whole discussion already to how was I feeling at the time. So women do this. They try and change every fact-based argument into an emotional argument. The facts are you suck dick. The emotion is, well, I was in a bad place, blah, 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 subjective garbage. Whereas if you keep it very facts-based, did you suck dick? Yes, okay, you're wrong, I'm right, boom. Done. So she came along, she said it's all about me. Will sits there, does nothing, and now she's basically put herself in a winning position for the rest of this negotiation. 3 seconds.
One thing I want to clean up about you giving permission. You know, the only person that can give permission in that particular circumstance is myself.
She's an idiot, and Will is such a pussy. Something in the press about you giving permission. The only person who can give permission is me. And Will goes, yeah. So she's your wife, and you don't have any control over who fucks her? That's how you view your relationship, Will? The only person who can give permission to fuck my pussy is me. I'm your husband. No, people are not allowed to fuck your pussy because we're married. And Will just sits there and goes, yeah, baby, yeah. My day is now ruined because one of the last people on earth who I didn't actually mind, Will Smith, is a complete bitch. It's unbelievable. As a man, if you're never prepared to walk away, you're never going to be respected. Respect and the woman thinking, you know what, he might just leave me, are linked. They have to be there. So you have to mean what you say. You have to let her know, look, there's some things I won't tolerate, and if you fuck with me, I'm going to walk away. And if you walk away and she doesn't chase you, then she's gone. But at least you saved yourself a fucking nasty divorce and getting cheated on and all that shit. Just end it then and there and save yourself a bunch of time. But men are too afraid to pull the plug on it because they get addicted to the pussy and they don't believe they can get any more pussy and they get all messed up. And this is one of the advantages of being a playboy. I can leave any chick because I got 10 more.
Yeah.
So if she doesn't act right, I'll just replace her for the night, and I'll feel better by the next day. I go through a breakup a week. I'm used to it. I don't give a shit. And it's just like, this is part of the game. So you have to be prepared to walk away as a man. So you have to look at any relationship you're in and say, okay, I'm a nice guy. I love her. She loves me, but I have boundaries. And if she fucks with them, I'm going to have to walk away. And that's the truth. Otherwise, you're never going to be respected.
This iTitle, Are You Married to a Brat? This is a gender reveal party. The guy is given the balloon, and this is how it plays out. And I just want you to listen to how she speaks to him and address that. Okay, so bottom line, what happened in this clip is he had the balloon. He pretended that he was, oh, I lost it. But do you see her reaction? This is what I mean. He's effing dumb. He's that dumb. My husband's a moron. And then she's like, oh. So talk to me about a relationship, because I hear from a lot of guys that say I'm spoken to in a way from the girl I'm dating, or, you know, this girl is just disrespectful to me. What should a man do who finds himself in a situation like that?
Not date her in the first place.
What if he falls in?
Okay,
she's behaving. What if she's behaving? You know how it is. Women behave for a certain period of time, and then the attitude comes out sometimes. What does guy do?
Okay, this is actually a good example, because I talked to it. I had a friend ask me this exact question. He had a girlfriend who's been acting up, and like, no, okay, good example. So he's dating a girl, has been seeing her on and off for several years, and he sort of breaks up with her periodically. And then 3 months later, he'll text her, hey, baby, how you doing, whatever, and they'll get back together again, and then they'll break up again. And I'm like, okay, what happened? Why does it break? What do you break up? What happens when you break up? Like, why are you breaking up with her in the first place? He's like, oh, she'll get dramatic about this, dramatic about that, whatever. I'm like, okay, well, first of all, you just taught, or by taking her back again and again and again, you've taught her that she can act like a dickhead.
Yep.
And get taken back. She just has to wait like a couple of months and you'll text her.
Yep.
Right? Just not giving your attention to bratty behavior can correct bratty behavior. It's what you do with kids.
So what does that mean? Does that mean ignore her? Does that mean tell her straight up, I don't like the way you're speaking to me?
Well, first step is like, yo, cut that shit out. Like, there has to be a boundary. If you don't have boundaries, you don't have a relationship. That's not a relationship. If there's no boundaries whatsoever between the way you interact with each other, then that ain't a relationship. So the guys don't put down boundaries these days because they're afraid of looking like a misogynist or toxically masculine or whatever the hell buzzword people want to throw at them these days. But guys need to put boundaries down. Your father puts boundaries down for you as a child for a reason, to like guide your behavior into a positive direction where it's harmonious, right? Same thing works in relationships. So you should be telling your woman, like, because they're gonna act up, cool. They're gonna test you. Like I said, okay, that's not acceptable, babe. Don't do that again. And if she does it again, you have to break it up. You have to be a man of your word and follow through, right? I had that with one of my girls recently. She did something I didn't like. I said, that's unacceptable. She tried to snark back with some bullshit. I said, that's a shame. We would have made a beautiful family together. And I ghosted it.
You ghosted?
And then, lo and behold, 3 days later, she texted me back, how you doing, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, really? Now you want to talk again? Okay, fine. Like, but she has to humble herself. That's the point. You have to, it's going to sound manipulative and bad or whatever the hell. Women do this to dudes all the time, by the way. And it's only unacceptable. For some reason, it's only unacceptable for guys to have boundaries, but women do this to dudes day in, day out, constantly.
Yeah.
But you have to be able to put boundaries down and enforce those boundaries, take away attention from her when she's not acting correctly, so she can learn, and she has to learn to humble herself for you.
Do you know how many people you triggered in the woke community? I was listening to this.
Hopefully
I was like, I was going to start to make a list, and it was getting too long. I was like, I can't. Just the number of people that, between you comparing the husband to the dad, and then saying what the dad taught her when I was like, oh man, you could just blow up. You could, like, if there was like a woke club, they would all have just set themselves on fire listening to what you said.
Good.
But I will say with that situation too, I mean, she's pregnant. Like, you can't tell me that she hasn't done that before. He knows exactly who he's with.
Totally.
He allowed that to happen for too long, and now she feels that she can publicly humiliate him. So I agree. I mean, if you're dating a girl and she's disrespectful, you got to straight up be like, I'm not going to tolerate that behavior soon. in the beginning, because if you don't, forget it. Then it's going to escalate to that type of thing. You're at a gender reveal party and she's screaming at you in front of your whole family. That's ridiculous.
You got to be able to have uncomfortable conversations as a man. Mm-hmm. This applies to everything, by the way, like in business and friendships, whatever. But in relationships too, you got to be like, because most guys are like, if I say this, it might piss her off, and then I don't get sex. Mm-hmm. That's really the thought that goes on in their head.
Because they use that as a power trip. Oh, you're not going to get some. I'm going to turn over on my side of the bed, and I'm not going to look your way.
But and that's because the guy doesn't have options. Okay, and I'm not necessarily saying go out and cheat on your girlfriend or whatever. Fine, if you want to remain monogamous and loyal, good for you. Like, I hope you enjoy that. But part of the reason why I'm able to actually enforce boundaries in my relationships is because my girls know that I have options. Mm-hmm. They're like, he's probably just going to replace my ass if I act like a dickhead.
That gets trickier if you are in a situation where you are monogamous, you're married to someone. But I think like the energy though, that if she knows you're not going to tolerate that, and she knows that you could act on that, but you could go out and there'd be a bunch of girls willing to be nice to you, and you had that option, even if you were married and she knew that you were monogamous, you would. Just the idea that you're with a man that does have the ability to do that will set you straight real quick.
Yeah. It's really not that complicated. And guys will, if you're having any kind of frustrations in your life, this applies to men and women. If there's anything that frustrates you, be it financially, in relationships, whatever, it's because you have an incorrect view of the way the world works. Your mental model of, this is how women are, is fundamentally wrong if your results aren't what you expect them to be. It's a simple hypothesis to test. Like, do women respond well when I do this? Yes or no?
Right.
If it's a no, then I need to adjust my model of what women respond well to. That applies to everything. So, a guy like this, he's probably been taught his whole life, because we've all been taught like this our whole life as men, from day one, through Disney movies, through Hallmark rom-coms, through sitcoms like Friends, horrible, like all this.
Something? I used to watch that show religiously. I used to love that show, and now I look at stuff and I because I'm immersed in this content now, it's like once you see stuff, you can't unsee it.
Bingo.
And now I'm looking and I'm like, oh my God, Ross Geller is the worst. Like, who would ever want to sleep with that guy? And I used to be like, oh, Ross. And now I'm like a doormat who's like pining after Rachel years and years and years. And I even remember saying to my husband at the start, I said, but he did get the girl. And my husband was like, yeah, after she slept with a bunch of guys, and he was standing there like a moron the whole time. And I was like, oh man, once you see this red pill stuff, you can't unsee it.
And notice that it's called Friends and they all sleep with each other.
Right.
Right?
That's the giveaway. That's something.
Is there anybody you love, Benda?
Yes. I love my mom. My brother, my sister, and my dad. I guess, yeah.
I'm in love with me too.
Those are the people I love. I was just answering the question.
No secret admirers out there,
Oh yes, I nearly forgot.
Is there some birds?
There is J-Lo.
Album of the year. It wasn't the actual devil. No, they were just dressed as the devil, Mom.
Ben Affleck goes viral for looking super serious at the 2023 Grammys.
Do ba 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 do.
What are you doing here?
Answer me, find my
Is this what you do when you say you're going to work all day?
I gotta go, guys.
A tu familia a México.
Mi madre y mi hermano fueron conmigo en México cuando estuve trabajando en un show para niños, se llama...
¿Qué llevó a tu familia?
Before the wedding, Jennifer put on an Oscar-worthy performance for Ben, pretending to be the perfect, easygoing wife-to-be. Insider continued. He's a jeans and t-shirt kind of guy, and now Jennifer is trying to tell him what he can and can't wear. Perfectionist allegedly lashed out at her new husband during an epic fight. She's been known to yell at him and point her finger, the first insider told this outlet.
There's J-Lo.
What's up, J-Lo? What's up? It's your boy.
Oh, man, Jenny been around the block.
Then in that case, what's her name? Giselle Bundchen.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's a.
Nah, I can't do that. Tom.
David, wake up.
Hi. Chase Davis on the beat, yeah. Put that shit on.
You could be Tom Brady. You could be the freaking man, the Super Bowl winning quarterback, GQ looks, famous, awesome dude. You never hear bad stories about Tom Brady. You could just be this the epitome of masculinity, the leader of leaders, a man among men, all that, and then some multimillionaire, beautiful wife, marry a supermodel, don't cheat on her, be a good man. You could do all these things, and then at some point she's like, yeah, I think it's time for a divorce. He's like, what?
Has he been a companion?
Well, I don't know. We don't know that.
He's been many things, but we all want one thing. It's companionship. Giselle is worth 400. Tom Brady is worth less than 3. I don't think she cares about the money at this point.
Do you think he cares about the money?
That has nothing to do with the money.
I think he cares about the money?
And I don't think she cares about, honestly, to
She
be
don't care
honest,
about
his
his
legacy
purpose.
anymore.
That's
because
crazy.
she's like, it's not that
crazy.
it's not crazy. It's just it's her truth. Like Tom deserves to have a legacy, but Giselle deserves to have companionship.
Giselle's moved on from Tom Brady as she has been photographed with her new boo thing over in Costa Rica. On the surface, there's nothing wrong with this. Giselle's a divorced grown woman. She can do what she wants. But not everything is as it seems, and that's why you have to do some digging. Giselle has known her boyfriend for a while. He is actually her jiu-jitsu instructor, which is a form of martial arts. This tweet I'm showing you, which is a video of Giselle training jiu-jitsu with her now boyfriend, is from February, all the way back in February. And from the video, the skills that she's showing, it's clear this was not their first tussle together. So this has been going on for a little bit. So yeah, make of that what you want. Make of that what you want. Be careful, guys. Be careful. Be careful.
Mr. Brady, I ain't gonna do that.
That could betray the brotherhood oath.
No.
He's gonna pass on that. That's a brother's ex.
Oh, hell's yeah, man.
Pass on that. 100%. Remember that. This is a good thing to bring up for Valentine's Day. If you see someone's ex out there and your boys, bro code, okay? Bro code. You don't go and impinge on the ex.
That's true.
Don't poke them. Don't invite them to clubs. I've had some experiences like that, man.
That's weird. That's weird.
It's not cool, man.
That is super weird.
That person knows who they are. Right. And they're in Australia. You know who you are. Exactly.
You're not really
inviting my ex to the nightclub every fucking week. I'm sorry.
It's weird.
I'm having a moment.
I feel like you're not a real
PTSD.
friend if you're out here inviting your mate's ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
That means you always had these, I would say, ideas or thoughts in your head.
Well, he did, honestly, and I noticed it at the time, but I didn't know how to deal with it because I had just moved to Aussie. I was new. I was only 22 or 23, and I just moved to Aussie. And the girl I was with or whatever, he would walk up to us and like, "Oh, baby girl, look, she bad, man. She bad." He would say comments like that, and I'm like.
Maybe once I'd be cool with.
But the dude was Sudanese, and he would he would lie and tell girls. What's that? Well, he knows Sudanese dudes. He's like, oh. I love our Africans. No, but no, look, the dude was Sudanese, but he would tell girls he was from America, and he would get like,
oh, that guy.
Yeah, he would get braids in his hair, and so he would over the top do the baby girl,
Classic.
Me and my shorties out there. And yeah, it was and girls couldn't, for some reason in Perth, couldn't see through it. I don't know. Ladies in Perth, I don't know if this is a Perth thing, but I've seen a few dudes trick you guys into thinking they're from America and they're not. They're from South Africa, they're from Sudan. Yeah, but anyhow, he would make these comments about her, like while I'm there, and I was just like, I could have saw it coming, and I should have checked him or whatever, but at the time, too, he was my flatmate.
Oh.
I was living with him, and I was living with his brother.
Oh.
Yeah,
That's
so
rough.
it was him and his brother there, but it's just me. And I was like the third wheel, and I'm like, I just let it slide. I was just like, I was young too.
Yeah, I guess that's
I just
smart.
let it slide.
It's smarter probably just to let it.
Yeah, but as years go and you progress and you start understanding your values and your brotherhood, what it should be, you know.
Also, there's actually no issue. Like, as long as you know that your girl or the girl that you're seeing, that's the most important.
Isn't down for the right thing.
She's
taking.
She's just kind of like, nah. Then you have nothing to worry about.
The kind of men that we have a problem with, right? Will prioritize female companionship, as in aka sex, over like male brotherhood. So they'll stab their brothers in the back. They'll talk shit about their boys, like even in the club to like a complete stranger. They'll shit on their friend to try and get with her over their friend, right? This kind of energy is just weaselly.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of that when you have women with like a ton of male friends around them. It's just these weaselly dudes trying to like get one up on over each other to try and get her attention or whatever. Of course she likes having a bunch of male friends because it gets all this attention. Of course she does. This is how I know that woman doesn't actually think for herself for a start, because what's her default response? Sign language. Shaming, insults, guilt, and the need to be right.
Yeah.
That is the default. I think it was Kevin Samuels who coined that, by the way. But that's default what these kind of women will go to if a dude puts down any kind of boundary that she's like, that makes her responsible or makes her actually like, she feels like she can't have her cake and eat it too.
Right.
The moment there's a boundary put down, oh, you got a small dick. Oh, what a coincidence that all the guys, all the men that have standards have tiny penises. I didn't know that. That's an astounding, it's like, that's amazing, that coincidence. Yeah. His girl was being kind of like bugged by a guy at her work. She was telling her boyfriend this, right? That, oh, this guy keeps hitting on me at work. I keep telling him to go away, whatever. And then he hit me up. He'd already responded to her, and he sent me the screenshots of what he'd said to her, and he was asking me for advice. And he'd responded with something like, oh, I don't like that. What was exactly the way he said it? It's something like, I don't like, he told her, basically, that his last girlfriend cheated on him with a friend from work.
A friend from work.
Synopsis. Okay. Terrible idea on his half to reveal that insecurity.
Right.
Really.
Of course.
He's just given her a weapon.
Of course.
That she is now going to use against him later on to poke at him and make him jealous anytime she has an argument with him, anytime he upsets her, anything bad. Oh, really? So-and-so at work said my hair was nice today, or whatever, right?
Right. Oh, you don't like that about me? That's so funny, because John says that's like one of my biggest assets. So it's so weird that you guys think differently about that.
But here's what I broke down for this guy as well, this example. He actually said to me, do you think this is a problem? Do you think there's anything going on here? And I said to him, if there was something going on between her and the guy she was working with, she wouldn't have told you about it in the first place.
Right.
She would have kept that shit a secret.
That's right.
But because she told you about it, here's what it tells you. She's trying to make you jealous. She's trying to use that as a weapon against you. Now, I'm not saying she's doing this consciously, like, meticulously planning out what she's going to do. It's just female nature.
I think a lot of women do it consciously.
Sure, there's ones that do it consciously, but in that, maybe she did. She was Ukrainian, maybe she did. I don't know. They're kind of feisty like that. But
women know what they're doing a lot of the times. That's a thing that people say.
And they'll pretend like they don't.
They pretend like they don't, and it's like, oh, women can do no wrong. Women know when they do sneaky stuff or when they do stuff to make men jealous. When women do stuff to make men jealous, we know.
Yeah, but I think that was a really good example that happened yesterday. So of like him thinking, the fact that she brought it to you in the first place tells you it wasn't actually happening, and she was using it to test you to see if you're going to react to it, and you did, unfortunately.
And you did.
So it's like, I think that's actually a really good example for guys on this kind of topic.
Yeah. So so bro codes, guys out there, if you're out on single and you're out on Valentine's Day, make sure you go to these clubs, you see somebody's ex, you know what I'm saying? You maintain that integrity. There's plenty of other birds and flocks in the sea. And ladies, we don't mean to call you birds, but sometimes you be flocking, on a pill. No, I'm just joking.
Because you must stay healthy on a punk bitch, Like this motherfucking Whole Foods doing good, bitch ass nigga. You know how we do. Trying to stay healthy. Whole Foods Larry in the building. Talk it to me. I might have to get some of that lemon tangerine organic farm raised chicken on a pump bitch, And And as you can see, I add 25% lemonade in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Real chef shit, all organic, 100%. I swear to God.
We're dogs, okay? Arf, arf.
Fucking with Kev, you gonna mind me, bitch.
But anyhow, yeah. So back to Valentine's Day.
My thoughts on
what's your
Valentine's
thoughts?
Day, as Kels has said, that there is this understanding that obviously men are the ones that pull their weight, which is, I guess, is something we've all grown up with.
Yeah, it's a burden of performance. It's what makes a man.
Yeah, and I think, first of all, why I've always never been fully into it is, I think it's stupid that you have to find one day to fall or show love.
Yeah.
And then secondly, this man is supposed to shower you in all these gifts. And I'm not trying to be rude to a lot of ladies out there. What the are you giving this man to be shouting gifts?
Your gifts.
Like, I'm just saying, like, you're not married. You don't have his children. You know, I can fathom someone who's married with some, like, and you have his kids.
Yeah.
I can understand that. I can understand my father showering my mother with gifts. She's done a lot for my dad.
Yeah.
Every day, and that's him thanking her. So I'm kind of like, oh yeah, I get it. But I feel like you having a boyfriend or whatnot within that first, I don't know, year, and you're like, yup, I need this, 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 and this. I'm like, what the heck are you bringing? And you can't say, well, I ain't giving pussy. What is that?
What the heck is
that?
What is that? A veg sandwich?
Oh my God.
What can I do with a veg sandwich? Can't do nothing with that.
You know, that's like being like, well, I've got a hand. Everyone's got a hand.
I'm shaving his gift tonight.
Oh,
what is that?
No. I don't want that.
What is that? I don't want no flounder fish.
So I just kind of ask. That's my issue.
Keep it fresh.
It's kind of like all these people in these relationships. You want to be spoiled, yet what are you giving? And you know what? If you're gonna do that and you expect that, then yeah, spoil back.
Spoil back. I totally agree with you, Benda. Like, honestly, what I would say to if they're expecting these types of gifts and treatments as well,
hell yeah,
is that there is a burden of performance, not just for men but also for ladies as well across the board. And we know you like equality when it suits you, but out of that equality, every human on earth should be self-improving and have a burden of performance to them, and so, and that duty shouldn't be just on Valentine's Day. That should be year-round, around the clock, with each other, as this bit of servitude towards each other in certain regards. But we also find that if a man's too invested into the lady, a lot of times is not appreciated as much. And I was one of those dudes on Valentine's Day.
Oh, bro, like,
I was one of those dudes on Valentine's Day.
I agree with that.
I would be at the mall, and I'm like, yo, what can I buy her? Like, all right, I'm gonna get her a bathrobe with her name on it.
What the fuck? I never did that.
I was so creative.
No, that's sweet. I think that
we're both creative.
I think that is amazing. That is genuinely hat off to you.
Yeah.
But hell no. Since I was in high school, I never did it because I always thought,
he was raised right, man. He was raised right. I'm not saying I wasn't raised right.
Yeah, you were raised right, but it's just a lot of guys think think the same way.
Yeah, I had a stepdad, so I had a very Disney mentality when it came to relationships. My stepdad was a good friend, but he didn't really advise me.
My mom did not have a Disney relationship. She was like, why are you buying them all these special gifts? What do they give you? my mom was an African mom, man.
What do they do for my son?
Yeah.
What are you doing for my son?
No, she'd look at me. Yeah. What do they do for you? What's so special?
Yeah.
Huh? Go tell me. She asked me, if you can tell me at least 2 special things.
And that's real shit.
2 special things that they're doing for you.
Yep.
She's like, I'll give you the money to go buy them these special things.
That's
and I sat there and I was like, they're just my girlfriend.
Just a G word.
I was just like, and then he goes, so my mom used to look at me, just your girlfriend. Just your girlfriend that you need to spoil and give all these lavish things to. And she's going to give you, and I was like, oh.
A little bit of
I don't know. I guess, I was literally like, nothing.
She twerking for you? What is she doing?
Nothing. At that age, they couldn't twerk, so I wasn't getting twerking. I wasn't getting kisses. I genuinely realized I'm out here giving her the mostest.
Yeah. And she might give you the box.
She was definitely going to give me a box. I was like 16, 15. I ain't getting the box. I might get a crisp high five.
Yeah. Oh God.
So I was like, at that age, I was like, there's no way I'm gonna be spending all this money on these girls. Yeah. What I did was quality time.
Yeah.
We can spend time together.
Yeah.
We can hang out.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna just throw all these random things.
Exactly.
I don't know. It's
and remember, intimacy, that is an even exchange. That is an even exchange. But that is not an even exchange for a dude who is out planning for the day. It's not an even exchange.
And also, you have to remember, you're buying love. So, say if, hypothetically, if you're in the comments getting angry, you're telling me you need to be bought. Yeah. That's the scariest part.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, no, I actually just like, it's just nice to have gifts. Guess what?
If you have to convince a sister, a woman, that you are a good option, that you're her best option, right? By jumping through hoops, by proving yourself, by buying her stuff, by telling her what she wants to hear, she's not the one for you. That's what I tell my sons. Why do I say that? Because she clearly does not see you as her best option, right? She thinks you're just one of many, or maybe you're okay, but maybe another better one is coming, right? Now, if you finally convince her to marry you, what is going to happen in that relationship? What's going to be the power dynamic in that relationship? You've basically signed up for a life of her on a pedestal and you working overtime to please her. And sisters, unfortunately, hate it when I talk about this, right? Because this is the model we've been presented by society. A man's job is to please you. A man's job is to make sure you are happy. A man's job is to cater to you, etc. And the reality is, certainly as far as the deen is concerned, it's actually the opposite. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam have taught us as women the importance of pleasing our husbands, of catering to our husbands, of looking after our husbands.
I bet that guy you're dating, ask him. No, don't even ask him. Just go buy gifts. I'm sure he's going to enjoy it. But you don't want to give the gifts. You want to be the gift giver. Giver. Gift haver. Oh, my English is terrible. But, and then again, it's scary if you are sold by gifts. That's the scariest thing.
Well, it's scary because it means you have a price.
That's what that's what I was looking for.
You have a price to you. So if someday you're not feeling
that guy
loved, or you're not feeling like you've got enough attention, or you're not feeling like spoiled enough, that you will
jump ship.
You jump ship and you'll sell me off for some other cat, some other dude, you know. So
in a heartbeat too.
You don't know what you got.
And it'll happen so fast. If that's what sells you so fast. You know?
Exactly.
100%. If you're
bad fish. Take that fish, men, and throw it back into the ocean. I'm sorry, ladies. I'm not trying to compare you to fish.
Yeah, I was like
exactly like I was comparing you to birds earlier, but I can compare you however I feel like. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
All these animals.
I'm sorry. I was watching.
You were human.
I was watching Andrew Tate earlier. I'm sorry. I'm joking.
Well.
Top G. But anyhow, Benda's exactly right.
But yeah, 100%. If you can get sold on that, to me, it just means any guy with a wallet can come through and top the next guy who can top the next guy.
Exactly. You'd be a penny dropper for the next dude that comes through with some moolah.
Exactly. So I'm just kind of
You might as well be on OnlyFans. Shouts to the OnlyFans ladies, but we're saying
there's gonna be some discounts on OnlyFans on Valentine's Day. I know that.
I know exactly. So men, be careful with lonely fans. All right, be careful with lonely fans. Shouldn't be out there. No fap, guys. No fap. You should not be in your room playing with yourself. That is haram. That is haram. You're sitting there playing with yourself and then coming all over yourself. Like, it is haram.
Hey, if you're gonna do that, just don't pay for it, man. Internet's free.
My name is Kay Jenkins. I am 26 years old. I am a luxury real estate advisor, but I also just started an OnlyFans. So if you want to see me naked, subscribe.
There you go.
And then I have multiple boyfriends, but I'm still single. So life is good.
Haram.
Okay.
Haram. Listen, Myron, listen.
Before I
come back on the show, we need a haram button. We need a haram button. We need to press the button.
I'm going to put one in tonight, bro.
Thank you, my friend.
Yeah.
Are you poly?
No, because that means they can talk to other dudes. That's fucking haram. That's atrocious. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Get the rocks.
Yeah.
Abdul?
Yeah. Get the rocks.
Get the rocks.
Yeah.
Haram! Send her to Saudi. Let her repeat this shit. Haram! We need the will of God. We need Allah. Listen, I'm ready for the asteroid. I've had enough.
You beat your meat, right?
Absolutely and utterly not. God is always watching. It's disgusting. It's embarrassing. Next time you're jerking off, understand that God is watching you. And imagine what you look like. Imagine the look on your face. Imagine your expression. Would you put that video on the internet? Imagine how everyone would laugh at you. Well, God is laughing at you, Aiden. This is why he made his girl leave you. Stop jerking off. Stop being a dickhead. You need to grow.
Look, remember, God is watching you, okay?
It's just free, man.
Remember, Allah, the God above, is watching you. Sitting there beating your meat, laying back.
He ain't gonna watch me. He's not watching me.
There's someone watching you. There's always eyes on you. Google it. Anyhow. Exactly. But yeah. So burden and performance should be equal, across the board. And you should appreciate your man for the things that he wants to do, whether it's something that you wanted or not. It's just the thought that goes into it should be nurtured and appreciated. And also, if you have the audacity to be offended about not getting something that you necessarily want, remember, you've got to burden the performance as well, too. So what are you bringing to the table to meet up to standards?
Yeah.
And it's a lot of times, even, I would say, down to Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, you see these ladies on these dating apps, and they have a huge laundry list of requirements of what they want, what a guy should be. He should step up, be a man. You want adventures, but you're also not saying what you offer.
Yeah.
How are you asking for so much and you're not willing to show or share what you offer? And sorry, there is a burden of performance for men that do value themselves. So men, be careful on these dating apps to not get caught up in these long laundry lists that someone might require of you. Because trust me, men aren't that picky. We're not that picky, right?
Not that crazy, but it's nice. Like, how would you?
Are we picky?
Men and women were asked, what do you consider settling to be? And, women were basically, so they asked men and women, even what would you need to go on a second date with somebody? And men said they needed 3 things to go on a second date with someone. She had to be interesting to talk to. She had to be cute, but not like gorgeous movie star cute, right? Just cute to him, right? And she had to be nice. She had to be a kind, nice person. We know those people when you're at a restaurant and they're being really rude to the waiters and stuff. Not somebody like that. And so that was what men said. They needed just 3 things to go on a second date with someone. Women named 300 things that they would do. There was this list that was exhaustive. It was can't be this, can't be that, has to be this, has to be that. And so it was this question of what does that really mean, right? How are we choosing partners, and are we looking for the wrong qualities? Are we looking for the qualities that don't matter? And are we not looking hard enough at the qualities that do matter? Things like kindness, emotional generosity. Do you have shared values? Do you enjoy just being with the person, right? Regardless of all these other things that we're taught, especially as women, to look for in a partner that actually don't, when we look at, so my book it's a reported book. It's partly a memoir of my journey going through this, but it's also a reported book that I wrote as a journalist. And so all the studies and data show these are the things that matter in happy, lasting marriages, and these are the things that don't matter at all, but that people place such a high value on when they're dating. I do. I think that people come in and they want something to change because it's not working, whatever's going on. But usually what they want is someone else or something out there to change, right? They don't want to look inside and say, what is my role in this? What am I doing that I could do differently? Because whatever I'm doing right now isn't working. And often people don't realize that maybe they are doing something in terms of their selection process that is getting in their way of finding the person that they will actually fall in love with. So the book isn't about having you be with someone that you're not truly completely 100% in love with. It's about what's getting in the way of you finding that person. Well, I think, there's this thing that I talk about in the book, the difference between satisficers and maximizers. And this is a study. This isn't my opinion. This is actually research that was done. And they found that people who are maximizers are people who have to have the very best of everything, and they're never satisfied. And people who are satisficers know what they want. Their bar is high. They have they have high criteria. But when they find something that meets those criteria, they're happy with it. They're satisfied with it. So an example is, let's say you want to buy a sweater, and you go into a store and you find a sweater and you love it and it fits well, and you go out and you get lots of compliments on it and you're very happy with it. That's great. You're a satisficer. You found what you want. A maximizer will probably look at that sweater, not buy it, and say, but let me just go to a few other stores and see if I can find something better. Maybe there's something else that's a better price or a better style or a better this. Or they buy the sweater, and then the next day they're like walking through the mall and they're like, oh, look at that sweater that I just saw in the window. Maybe that one's better. And then they don't like the one they have. So maximizers are never happy. They're always like, they have to maximize and maximize and maximize, whereas satisficers find what they want and they appreciate it and they're happy. And I think that happens in dating. The same thing happens in dating, right? Where people, they feel like, especially with apps, like the way that people date nowadays, right? So on an app, you go on a first date with somebody, you're like, I had a really good time. That was pretty fun. But I didn't feel like amazing butterflies yet, right? But it was really fun. I really liked the person. I would totally see them again. Then you're like driving home or you're coming home and you're like, oh, look at all these notifications on the app. Maybe that person is better. And so you never get to know somebody because you're juggling so many different people trying to maximize something, and you can't really treat human beings like a shopping experiment. There's a woman actually in my new book, Maybe You Should Talk to Someone, just like that. She's in her early 20s and she keeps dating these guys and they never work out for her. And at one point she starts even dating someone that she hooks up with in the waiting room. I don't mean they hook up in the waiting room. Our office is not that exciting, but they meet in the waiting room. And I know that he's going to be bad news because everyone she chooses is bad news. And so why is that? It's because if you haven't worked through whatever, like however you were disappointed in childhood, right? If you haven't worked through that, then you choose people who are similar to that, even though you think you're choosing the opposite. So it's kind of like you see a guy and your unconscious says, oh, you look familiar, come closer, right? And he might not be exactly like the parent who disappointed you or whatever you didn't get as a child, but once you get to know him, he is. And that's why you are drawn to those people. So then she would go out with these guys who were amazing guys, and then she'd be like, yeah, he's amazing, but like, I don't know, I just didn't feel the spark. I didn't feel the chemistry because you haven't worked through that other stuff. So you don't feel comfortable. You actually get anxious around people who are good for you. People who are good for you, you either get numb, you feel nothing, or you get anxious, right? Or you get repulsed. Okay, it's one of those things happens. And so it's really important to understand why if you find this pattern, it's kind of like if a fight breaks out in every bar you're going to, maybe it's you. So if every guy you're dating is like, a jerk or is disappointing to you or is unreliable, maybe it's you, meaning maybe you are choosing people like that. And then what people say is, oh, men are terrible. They're all awful. It's like you're choosing people, and we call this repetition compulsion. You're repeating something from childhood over and over to try to master a situation that you will always lose at. And so that's really important, is to understand the psychology of what you're doing as well.
Emily's story, Katie, it's called social egg freezing because women are having careers now. They're not meeting Mr. Right in their 20s as they used to a few decades ago. So a lot of women are going down this path. You don't think it's the right one?
No, I think this idea of social egg freezing, that's a bizarre phrase in itself. It's more social engineering. I think listening to that lady there just talk a whole world of tech and statistics and numbers and figures and talk about freezing eggs. It's a bizarre idea. What happened to just living your life, rolling with the punches? Most people's lives, including mine, are defined largely by the mistakes we made, and they turn out to be rather glorious in the end. I think women these days have become, especially younger women, have become so prescriptive about their lives. They're used to going on Bumble or Tinder or whatever, deciding how high their boyfriend needs to be, how tall must he be, what colour hair must he be, what colour eyes. And now they're wanting to do the same with their baby, decide what age to have it at. I just think women want too much control. And let's not forget...
Well, you're talking about men do exactly the same thing, but they have the luxury of not having to worry about the biology biological
Yeah,
clock.
it turns
So-
out we're not entirely equal, men and women. We are different. Women now think they can choose their gender as well. It's just this notion you can choose everything in your life. And guess what? Big news, young people. You can't. And let's not forget, people talk about harvesting eggs. It's not Cinderella or Snow White skipping around in the garden amongst the chickens with their basket, plopping eggs in the sunshine with birds tweeting. I've had friends who've had this procedure done. They balloon up like marshmallows. They're injected. They have stickers on. They have
It's like going
hormones
through
going
IVF,
in.
and we hear a lot about how stressful that is on
What's
the body
that got
and
to
on
do
your
with
mind.
childbirth? I mean, really, some of the worst things I've done in my life have been worked out for the very best in the end.
But
And you
what's wrong
can
with
be a
giving
woman-
yourself an option?
It's like asking a mate to hold a place in the queue in case you get there. If you've lived your life and you've got to 35 and you haven't found someone to have kids with yet, it's probably because you're too uptight, too anally retentive about the way you live your life, and you need to be a bit more flexible, take a few risks, live your life big. And I say to young people, don't freeze your eggs, go out there, find the fun, live your life, roll with life's roller coaster. So having arthritis and having children is not more fun. You don't know everything when you have children, and that's okay. Young people seem to think you need to know everything these days. You don't.
Katie, we are living longer though. People are living well into their 80s and 90s.
So we are living longer, but that doesn't mean you need to have a geriatric as a mother. I've seen the old people.
Your class is a
dropping their
geriatric when you're over 30 having a child. What age did
Women
you have
like
your
this,
first child?
I had my first child at 28. I know I
Well,
look about 105
Well, you'd have been
now,
classed as
but I'm actually
geriatric
rather
then, wouldn't
young.
you, under the NHS?
I feel like a geriatric half the time, and what I certainly wouldn't want to do at my humble age of 43, and I know most viewers think I'm 65, is I would not want to be staggering to the school playground with my arthritis just because I didn't have the perfect moment to meet someone. I think what's happened is women have become so choosy about their partner. No one's ever good enough, and they've forgotten to find the fun in life. Go out and make mistakes. Did you enjoy the process? Did you enjoy the process of having your eggs harvested? You did enjoy it?
Yeah, I did. I loved it because it gave me hope.
Well, she did.
I don't know. You tell us. You tell us. I don't think we are.
Like, how would you feel if a girl on Valentine's Day, I don't know, she got you an Apple Watch and then she got you something else and
look at it off.
You know, like
Exactly.
seriously,
It's not my Patek Philippe.
Well, how would you feel? And then she got you your a PlayStation game that you really wanted, and then she took you out for dinner. That was her Valentine's Day for you,
I'll tell her. I'll be so grateful.
right?
Cause I'm a man of simple things.
Yeah, exactly, right?
If you're gonna get my meat rolled, if you're gonna roll the meat, I'm all good for that. You know what I'm saying? Let me play with the McGriddles. I'm keen on that. But yeah, anything else is a plus.
Yeah.
You know, so she puts some effort into,
Especially that much effort.
to technology. I mean, I like flowers. You like flowers?
No, but I like chocolate and I like lollies. So
All right.
they do that on Valentine's Day
I'm not crazy about flowers.
because they die. I gotta eat chocolate.
Yeah,
and
that's
lollies.
true. Remember that, ladies. Flowers die.
They die. They're
Exactly.
expensive and they die.
Exactly.
Do you know what lasts forever? Like, I remember, okay, so this is a really weird a fun fact about me. I have never, ever bought a girl flowers.
Really?
Never. Ever.
That's a world exclusive, guys.
I'm not even kidding. I don't think I've ever told you.
That's a world exclusive.
Told anyone
You
that.
know,
I've never, and not because I'm a terrible human.
Yeah.
I've done other things. I've bought diamond necklaces. I've gotten clothes. I've gotten shoes. The difference is, my logic is, a diamond necklace for my ex, she can have that for like the rest of her life.
Yeah.
I'll buy you damn $60, $100 roses, whatever it is. That they last a day, I think. I don't know how long flowers.
They don't.
Day?
They don't last that long.
One day?
Maybe.
Yeah, okay. So we'll say
maybe a week, depending on how you maintain
okay,
them.
fine. We'll say 1 week.
Yeah.
We'll just go at the longest. 1 week.
Men, there's a trick. If you do get them flowers, if you put in some sort of aspirin or ibuprofen into the actual flowers, it extends the life.
Huh.
So that's a little tip for the dudes, you know what I'm saying?
knows?
Exactly. I know we don't give tips to dudes, you know what I'm saying? I give tips to the ladies, but I'm going to tell you a little secret I just filled you in on. So thank me later. Thank me later.
But yeah, so a week and you've spent that much money on flowers, and it's not a memory. It's a memory that she might have, but then I also remind myself when I was young, when I was like a little kid.
Yeah.
How many guys buy flowers? Every guy buys flowers.
So why would you?
So
want
why
to
are you
do
that important? Why? What's to to me, what's to make you so memorable? If 100 guys have bought her flowers over, I don't know, however long, and then you're the 101st guy that's bought her flowers, you're no special than the first guy that bought her flowers.
Yeah, it's not memorable.
It's not. But you know what's memorable? You're taking her out, maybe, I don't know, we'll say somewhere for dinner, and then, I remember I did this. You got like a birthstone in a necklace. It was like gold, but then no birthstone was in it. That is memorable because it's like, not only did you go out of your way to think of the year I was born, give me my birthstone and a necklace that's in my favorite color. Yeah. No one's ever done this. Yeah. You had to go above and beyond to do this.
Exactly.
But flowers? Oh, like, no.
Exactly.
That is a cheap, easy, like, oh, yeah, flowers.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't take much thought. You can go to any florist. I want some flowers. Yep.
Yeah.
Send it to this girl.
Yeah, I mean, one time what I did was like, I was out on a date or whatever, and I called like one of my homeboys on the low, and I told him like, yo, like come to the bar and just like start a fight with me. Like I need to save her, and I just fucking wailed on the dude, right? Then hit the nigga over here with a bottle. Nigga flashed out, and then after I did all that, she's like, "Oh my god, you just saved me, whatever." He tried to grab my wallet, and I was like, "Yo, I got you, baby." It's whatever I do whatever it takes, you know.
That is memorable.
You know what I'm saying? Be legendary.
On Valentine's Day, guys, don't all do this because there's gonna be a whole street fight.
Stage a fight. Stage a fight, man. You know, put them through a table. Real WWE suplex.
Also, it probably helps if your friend isn't like 6 foot something and you're like 5'4".
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe try to find a friend that's a little smaller than you.
Yeah, no,
make it realistic.
No, the dude was tall, man. Like, and he grabbed me by like my waist and gave me like he kind of like wedged me for a little bit.
I'm talking about all the way to the top, yeah. Unjustifiably in a position that I'd rather not be in. But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah. Macho Madness, yeah, has got more to offer. I am the cream in the World Wrestling Federation.
Wait a minute,
and there is no doubt about it, yeah. You, Mean Gene Okerlund, you know that I'm the cream of the crop. I am the cream, yeah. The cream of the crop. And there is no one that does it better than the Macho Man Randy Savage. On balance, off balance, doesn't matter. I'm better than you are.
You know, just out of curiosity, Randy, and I certainly don't want to diminish your tremendous God-given talents, but I'm very curious. I haven't seen Elizabeth lately.
Yeah, she's on the outside of the ring. Does she interfere in matches? Yeah, because I can't handle the Macho Man Randy Savage, the cream of the crop. Nobody does it better.
Approximately 10 hours later.
I'm still in a state of shock right now. In fact, I don't think I'm going to be coming down for a long period of time, yeah.
You know what I mean? I looked a little emasculated for like 2 seconds. It was just to make it more real. You know what I'm saying? I told him just like, Nick, you know, just yank me up a bit. You know? It worked. It worked. You know what I'm saying?
That is the best. I don't think I've ever done that. Nope.
So save a life, you know, or jump into a pool, you know. Do something memorable that she won't forget, okay?
Or
just don't get arrested.
Yeah, don't do that. Find something that she truly, truly, truly likes and do that. Some girls like hiking, right? Take her to her favorite hiking spot. I'd also say
if she really likes it, she doesn't do it all the time.
Oh no, not that. Like
yeah, if she does it all the time, no.
Yeah, not all the time. I meant like sometimes.
Go to my favorite hiking trail.
I meant like, you know, like those things that like people. I feel whether it's Valentine's or presents, it's the things that people truly love that you go and get them. I had an ex that was amazing at this. Like, she was amazing. She would literally find the things I genuinely loved or really wanted.
Yeah.
And that's what she would get me. Instead of this generic, say, it's Valentine's Day, like, here's some chocolate. And I'm like, well, I'm thankful still.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it's not, it sounds mean. If you truly love this person, you're not going to go generic.
You're going to put thought in, you're not going to just check a box.
That's what I mean.
You're not going to check a box. I'm that way or whatever. I don't know if that's like for men or ladies.
Definitely
or
not
whatever.
for everyone, no.
I don't know if that's a Capricorn thing, but for me personally, I'm very detailed, so I like to just do stuff that's very specific
to that particular person.
To that particular person. Mm-hmm. And so, like, it's just does thought into things, like, means something.
Yeah.
You know,
like if a partner's like, I need running shoes, and they said it like months ago.
Yeah.
And he's the type of person that might lock that in their brain. Yep. So then that day rolls around, birthday.
If they got a career or something they got going on.
Yeah, they might need a laptop, or I don't know what it is. Like, at the end of the day, it's something that you know not only do they need, they really want. So now they've gone, wow, you listen to me. You actually listen to me. and you got something I really need, thank you.
Yeah.
And that's to me, it's a whole level or different game than, here's some flowers.
Yeah.
Thanks. I can't wait to use these flowers on my at my job, or I can't wait to you put these flowers on my feet.
Can't wait for them to die in my room.
Like, what the? And I'm not trying to hate on people that buy flowers. I'm just saying.
It's a look, but it's
a good look. That's all it is to me. It's a good look.
It's a look, you know, and
because it came from, like, I guess back in the day, like, oh, my lady, I got flowers or some shit.
Yeah, it came from, I think, technically Disney.
Didn't I was like Victorian times.
Yeah, maybe a little colonial.
Yeah,
maybe.
Definitely white people be doing that shit.
Yeah.
Giving out flowers and shit.
Heroes. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They'd get the they'd what do you call it?
No, Pepe Le Pew.
Damn, I forgot the word. Courtmanship. When they used to court the women.
Court the women.
They would bring them things. They'd be like, I have these a dozen roses for you.
Come to court you.
Is you is or is you ain't my baby. The way you acting lately makes me down. You is still my baby, baby. See my flame in your heart's done gone out. A woman is a creature that's always been strange. Just when you sure of one, you find she's gone and made a change. Is you is, or is you ain't my baby. Maybe baby's found somebody new. But they don't think my baby is still my baby true.
You know, and that was different because it was kind of like they're just always, you know, buying random shit every day to, you know.
Yeah. So I wish I had known about that in advance, like myself about.
Did you actually get a gown with someone's letter on it?
I did.
Oh damn!
I did.
I just needed to ask that before he said anything else.
I did.
Damn! What the fuck? That's kind of cool, but also wow,
bro. For that person, I went too far.
What? They don't like it?
No. She loved it, but I think she didn't realize like it's not common. And like I think I overdid like spoil her. Like I was kind of like really like head over heels for the shit. Damn. Like that and that same. I can't remember if that was I think that was for Valentine's Day.
Where do you even get to do? Where do you
and
go
then,
to
like,
do that?
I bought her some high heels, and I got her name engraved on the actual, like...
On the heel?
On the stiletto side of it, or whatever.
Damn!
Yeah, and, like...
Damn!
Yeah.
And I'm out here giving crisp high fives.
Nah, I mean...
Nah, I'm just kidding.
that was just the Disney thing for me that, like, I didn't know, like...
No.
Because I did a lot for that person.
I can tell!
And then the moment... it went south. It was like she didn't remember any of it. It was like because I guess I made it regular. I just like was just doing so much, you know.
That it became just.
And I did it when I didn't have a lot. Like I didn't have a, you know, it was at a time where I was a young guy. I was like in my early 20s. I didn't have a lot of money. I was just like,
yeah,
you know, and I was traveling
as young people do. Yeah,
and I was traveling, so I was like. I really liked, you know, that
you must
person.
Really like, yeah.
I did.
Damn, I can tell, bro.
I said it fast.
Damn.
But
I did. I really did.
No offense to anybody else that came afterwards, but
I did.
But anyhow, yeah, no, and yeah. So anyhow, that's what good men do, but also ladies. There's a burden of performance as well too. So you know, treat these men as well, like good, and treat them as royalty, and make that a cultural habitual thing that you do on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis, is to maintain having a standard of respect and dignity and love about how you treat and cope with each other in general, and that will nurture your love throughout the year in your relationship. And when I say love is a very passive word, because a lot of people's definition of love can be very individual to each person. Well, I will tell you what I found to be the definition of love, and it's just a suggestion or advice, but love is understanding outside of yourself. And if you don't have the capability to understand things outside of your own POV, it's hard for you to love someone. So if someone's living to appease you, that means you're not able to view things outside of your own perspective, because life is bigger than you. And this is what I would suggest to anybody that is single or dating and looking for someone tonight or looking for some type of partnership, is that life in general isn't about your independence. Life is about people. It's about people, and it's about partnerships. The fruit of life, the best things in life, in a relationship or in business, is in partnerships. You need partnerships to accelerate and go anywhere. So it's how you treat people. And so that's what this is all about, is no matter whether you're male, female, whatever the case may be, nurture each other, water each other's garden and the things that you see the best in that person. Whatever attributes you love in that person, water that. If it's something they're working on career-wise, water that. And ideally, the person should hold themselves to a standard to want to water you in return, and you're reciprocating each other. So you're both growing because you both aren't draining each other's water reservoirs. And that's sort of what happens when one person is doing more than the other, is that the person that's doing more, their water reservoir is being drained. They're filling you up, but you're not willing to pour anything into their cup in return. So sort of like a usage type thing. So that's just a little...
I can't add anything else to that. That's perfect.
Scope on things.
No. Hey, you hit the nail on the head. That is perfect.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, man.
Thank you, man.
That is exactly.
I try.
Still, just try to love each other out there.
Yeah.
And enjoy this
the
Valentine.
day, get some smash, or whatever the case may be. And if you got some cash, you guys share it and you guys have a good time.
100%.
Whatever, make sure you guys just enjoy each other. Don't put too much pressure on each other. It's been a difficult few years for some people, so you never know how people's situations are going financially, mentally, health, So out of that, be kind to each other, be thoughtful.
And it's a day of love. Just love, man.
Yeah, exactly. If it's somebody you care about out there, tell them. I know it's become a foreign concept for dudes to approach ladies or ladies to approach men, which you can find in the States. You can find it in some parts of the world. But I think there's been a huge social divide with people, with promotion of, our polarizing our differences as men and women, and sort of putting people in conflict to lose sight of what we have in common. And I say this quite often. It took a male and female coming together for us to be alive. Whether people are happy about that or not, but it does show the beauty of men and women coming together. But what I'm trying to say is, it's okay for us to appreciate each other and show love towards each other, and what some people call the male gaze. I think that's a conversation that sometimes I hear about, that there's some ladies that will be in a very ist mentality, whether that's feminist or something, or they have a certain perspective on men based upon their past choices that also are a result of their upbringing. A lot of times how we're brought up affects our adulthood. There's no separating that, because someone birthed us and someone raised us. So whoever raised us, whether they're present or not present, it has an effect on how we turn out as teenagers or how we turn out as adults.
I mean, what, you don't think I got feelings? You don't think I'm sensitive? Let me tell you something. I got more feelings in my left nut than you two schoolgirls put together.
Here we go.
I know what they say about me. I know what they say about guys like me. They say that we're pigs, right? That we're dogs.
In your defense, they don't exclude. I've been married for 5 years, and my wife still says.
Oh, that's right. They don't exclude. They say all men are pigs. All men are dogs. All men are scum. And they talk their little asses off about what monsters we are. But they don't understand that they're the very ones that created the Frankensteins they abhor. Frankenstein was a whore?
Leave my wife out of this.
Laugh all you want, but I'm serious. Every womanizer, every player, every guy juggling 3 broads at the same time is only doing so out of fear. Fear of being crushed by a woman. Because one day, back in the day, they weren't a player. They liked one girl, just one.
And they gave it up to her, didn't
And they gave it up to her. That's right. They gave it up to her because they're little romantics back then. And they gave it up to the girl they love. And what happened? They got rocked, or they got crushed, or they got destroyed, they got cheated on, or laughed at, or something. And when they're finished picking up the little pieces of what was once their heart, you know what they said? Every single one of them made a vow.
Never to give it up again.
That's right, never to give it up again. But now we're talking about the real bastards here, the guys that break hearts occupationally. Because believe it or not, originally those cats were the most beautiful and the most romantic of all. And you know what happened? They're the ones that got hurt worst of all.
Because you never get over it.
You know, God, no! You never get over it. Yes, you recover, but you never get over it. And what happened? When they all recovered, you know what they all said? They all said, okay, I see, all right. That's how it's gonna be. I can play that way too. So you see that we are all responsible for the cycle of the vicious circle.
So you're saying you're afraid?
Absolutely. I ain't never get my heart broken again like I did when I was 16.
And you have to not project that personal experience that you have with your parents. You have to learn from it and learn what was missing that made you make the choices and selections that you did. Like in my case, being a Disney dude, I was always buying so much for ladies and putting them on a pedestal, often at times where I didn't realize that person was looking at me like, oh, I can have him anytime now. Now that I know he bought me flowers, he brought me gifts, I can throw him away, or I can make him explain himself over and over again because now I know he's willing to put an effort. So now I'm going to abuse it. And I'm just going to watch him perform for me. You know? So out of not that missing link of what we miss in our, upbringing with our parents and whatnot, turn that into a positive and go, understand that if we look at you, we're looking at you in admiration. For your beauty and your awe. Men are very physical. Even your gay friends or gay males, they're very physical. They look at things from a very physical aspect. So that's just a biological factor with men in general. So if you see a man looking at you and admiring you, it's not because he's looking at you like he wants to hunt and destroy you. Often at times it's him looking at you in awe because of who you are and your beauty and what you have. And if you present yourself very well in a public setting, it's the same thing. He's looking at you in a public setting in awe for all the beauty that you have. And so these are very normal tit-for-tat things when it comes to chivalry and what people call romance. Some ladies take it for granted. They don't want this until they're in their 40s and, aging. And they're like, oh, I just want this guy to admire me for my looks. And when you're young, you can take your beauty for granted. Like, oh, I got all the time in the world. But unfortunately, that's not the reality. So just know that if men are admiring you, it's being done out of the beauty that you have and who you are, and just it's an admiration. It comes from a very unique place. And hopefully, if they aren't seedy or if they aren't too socially awkward, depending on their upbringing, they'll know how to approach you in an appropriate way. Either with a line to make you laugh or just something very genuine. Just go, fellas, guys, you can just go up to a girl and just go, look, I'm not even going to throw a line at you. I'm just like, I'm going to just tell you who I am. Shake your hand. Look, you're beautiful. I want to know if you're available, or if you got time, maybe we can sit for a coffee, somewhere comfortable, but we'd just like to get to know you if we can. I know I'm a stranger off the street. I'm out, I'm doing this, I work or whatever, I'm in transition of going to a business meeting or whatever the case may be. Don't sell her to a false story, okay, guys? Don't tell her you're an entrepreneur and you're not. It's a bad look, okay? But yeah, be genuine or whatever. And guys, that's another thing, okay, guys? Guys, don't try to trick ladies with gifts as well either and buying them things. That's kind of...
Yeah, like what we said about back then, just you don't need to buy love.
Yeah, you don't need to buy love. And what Benda's mom, what she taught, like, shouts to Benda's mom. She is the MVP,
She
but
really is.
Seriously, because for her to give you that type of guidance, it's just amazing. And for men, yeah, just don't try to trick ladies with gifts or buying them drinks. even at a bar when they approach you and they might try to get you to buy them a drink. You know, do it on your own will and own accord. Don't feel obligated to do that, because if you're doing it thinking you're going to get something out of it.
Well, it's
transactional. If she has to ask you, that means that it's not from you.
You're a thing.
You're a thing to her. It's not from you. You know, it's not because you're doing it because you actually want to. And
it's not because that person likes you.
Yeah, it's not because they like you. It's because you're in proximity, and she can abuse her femininity to get you to buy a drink. Now, if you abuse your masculinity and do something inappropriate, grab her butt or something, then you're at fault. So it's the same context in a club setting. Don't let her abuse her femininity and get you to do something that's out of character or that you don't want to do.
She's literally just saying, look at me, screaming for attention, wanting other guys to look for a little TikTok. And the irony is she's looking at the guys more than they're looking at her. Now, the thing that annoys me about this clip is the way that she's zooming in on the guy's face, trying to make out like he's looking, when he's not even looking. He's literally just having a conversation with his friend.
And when I stand up for myself, he threatens to call the police and revoke my membership.
Okay, I thought so. Keep it pushing.
If you're getting rude, you can leave. Nobody was looking at you any type of way. I don't own the gym, I work here. Yes. And if you're getting rude, then you can leave.
That means what?
I can call the police and have you trespass right now. Would you like that?
Go ahead.
Okay, cool.
Go ahead, let him know.
That's what we'll do. So right now, you can take your stuff and head up front.
I hate this. I hate when there's weirdos. It makes me so uncomfortable. Feral, like fucking feral. 5 adds £5. And these are the rates. Excuse me? You don't have to do that. It's okay. No, it's okay. I got it. Thank you, though. See what I mean?
Most of you have probably already seen this clip, and we're all aware about how idiotic it is for her to be offended at what she claims to be sexual attention, but at the same time being fine with it if the guy had subscribed to her OnlyFans. If we're honest, this is all just promotion for her. She wants to get all white knights to get offended over this in order to get more people onto her socials and OnlyFans. It's the same as the whole, oh, I only want guys with dad bods type of content.
Walter, I'm very rich. I cook spaghetti very well.
You know, make sure you do things and you own your choices as a man, because you're accountable for it at the end of the day. You know,
I like that.
Yeah, and also what advice would you give to them if they have like a one night stand or whatever? Because I think we were talking sort of.
On Valentine's Day?
Yeah, I mean, if somebody's single and they're out at a club and
damn, on Valentine's Day, shit. I would just say, damn, you did well.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, I'd be like, wrap it up. You did well. Congratulations, you did the thing that most guys can't do. So, congratulations on that.
Yeah, I mean, if you pull a good night out there,
Like, I'd be like, just well done.
Yeah, totally.
Hat off to you, my fellow king.
Yeah, totally.
But just be safe.
Yeah.
Valentine's is for I think every day is for loving and caring.
Yeah,
and
if someone's intoxicated too.
Yeah.
If
someone's intoxicated,
I would say don't push it. Don't even bother with it.
Yeah, someone's like blacking out. I've been there, and I don't go there. You just got to use your brain. I think every guy knows that.
Yeah, it's a tricky headspace because people can retroactively might say that they agree, but you know, if you guys have a one night stand and maybe she's not feeling it the next day or you're not feeling it, that person years later can go back and be like, actually I didn't want to do that, and I slept with him and I'm not happy about it. And so someone can retroactively take something back, and it can kind of frame something as though you did something wrong when actually they might have just not been happy with how your interaction turned out to be. She might have thought you were going to date her, you were going to go into a relationship. So just make sure everything you do is consensual, and, you know, as much as possible, you know, if you guys can confirm by text, you know, you're okay with it, you know. It's, you know, it sounds crazy. Even if the next day you guys go have breakfast together, and, you know, and she's, you know, she's okay, so you guys have a record, you had a good time, you know, make sure that you cover yourself on both regards, ladies and men, to make sure everything is like across the board, you're on the same page or whatever. It sounds awkward. Like when people talk about the word consent, do people ever, I've never seen someone go up, it's okay if I, you know, unbutton your shirt, you know. It's a very awkward thing to do. I think there's a cha-cha between.
Yeah. I reckon we should do an episode on that.
About
consent. But consent is like, I feel like
I wouldn't even say just consent, just about like the awareness of like the social cues of dating and knowing that, you know, for ladies, don't go to a guy's house after a certain time if you're not expecting, you know, certain intimacy or things to be involved. If you aren't, make that clear before you go to the person's house, or whatever the case may be. And also men, you know, be careful with that. Don't try to, you know, trick anybody with anything, or, you know, or with drinks, you know, overload, you know, at a bar or whatever, and think that's going to get you some type of special night. That's why I'm firmly against dudes buying drinks unless they know the girl and they've known them for a while. Because, you know, all of that stuff can get messy because you get invested once you start buying and you pull out your money. And that's sort of what reels men into the wrong direction. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, we go on for 6 hours. There's a lot of like, I could dissect this, and there's just so much to dissect when it comes to that consent and all those things. Because
this is why I tell people be clear. Don't be passive. Yeah. Don't be passive with each other, or in a lot of ways with a lot of aspects of life. If you're passive, it leaves so much room for error, you know. And I'm not saying be aggressive and be overtly blunt. There's a way to get your message out where you can say something in a smooth way and go, you know, that you're looking to have a good time tonight, you know, as in like, you know, maybe we can go back to my place, you know, and these sorts of things, and make sure it's, you know, mutually clear and you guys on the same page, you know, and that's the only advice that I could really say as far as just being careful. That's just something extra that we, you know, I thought to cover in the midst of this, because people can have a messy night if you know, if they don't, you know, check their social cues, the environments, they don't talk to the person, get some clarity out there. And also, just telling my men out there, my kings, you know, don't, you know, be careful. Don't try to trick anyone with anything. Be your authentic self, because at the end of the day, that's what's gonna get you the respect, is you being you at the end of the day. So you don't necessarily have to do any witty lines or whatever, but you also don't need to put on an act or be performative. There is a board in a performance. Okay, I'll run that back. You do need to be, you know, clean, fresh, taken care of, you know what I'm saying? But don't do anything that's out of character for you. You know, so it gets tricky when someone tells you be yourself, because sometimes being yourself could be you don't take care of yourself. So it's bad advice, you know, to a certain degree. So have a burden of performance and presentation, but as far as conversationally, be yourself, okay? And be genuine with that person. And same with ladies. Don't be socially awkward. If you're at a bar and you're in a club and you're both looking good, you're meant to be there to look good. And you're meant to go there to interact. That's the point of a discotheque. A discotheque, nightclub, that's the 80s, 70s term, discotheque. The point of a discotheque and being at a club is so that you can blend. It's a social environment. You're not supposed to be there and not interact. There's only 2 genders on earth, so you might as well get used to talking and dealing with each other, you know. But men, be gentlemen. Ladies, if you want a good gentleman, be feminine. That's my advice.
I like that. Be safe, love each other.
Yes.
And don't forget equality.
Yes.
Love you guys.
Exactly.
You have the best Valentine's Day ever.
Exactly. Equality, exactly. Or chivalry, both. Have both towards each other. Be good humans. Love you guys.
All right, see you guys on the next one.
We outie. Peace.
Absolutely love it.
Get that loving going. Can't be passionate.
She don't believe in shooting stars, but she believe in shoes and cars. Wood floors in the new apartment, couture from the store's department. You more like love to start shit. I'm more of the trips to Florida, order the hors d'oeuvres, views of the water, straight from a page of your favorite author. And the weather's so breezy, man, why can't life always be this easy? She in the mirror dancing so sleazy. I get a call like, where are you, Easy? And try to hit you with the old rocky, till I get flashed by the paparazzi. Man, these niggas got me. I hate these niggas more than a Nazi. Call, I know you love to show off, but I never thought that you would take it this far. What do I know? Flash, light. I know. Flash, light. I know it's been a while, sweetheart. We hardly talk. I was doing my thing. I know it was fair, baby. Hey, baby, lately you been all on my brain. And if somebody would've told me your mother go frontin', oh, yo, I wouldn't wanna know.